Hello. I don't put your mic up straight away. This is my time. Welcome to the Wednesday Club. My name is Joe McGrath, and this is the final Wednesday Club of the season. And what a season it has been. It has been dramatic. It has been very quick. It's gone in a blink of an eye for me. And City are champions, which means Ian Cheeseman's smile on his face.
This is going to be the best programme ever.
It's bigger than ever. We're here today for the final Wednesday Club, like I've just said, to bring you a sort of roundup of the season, to make sure we sort of send Wednesday Club off for the end of the season, and we'll be back next season, fingers crossed, because Alex, as always says,
being the best show ever.
Indeed it will be. Let me tell you what's coming up on today. The England squad, we'll talk about that. We'll also talk about this new FIFA Club World Cup and what you make of that. Managers have been sacked today, or have left by mutual consent. They include Moyes and Sam Allardyce. We'll be speaking about them. I've got a quiz, but apparently... No, it's just me who's in the quiz action today. I'm going to be sort of playing at my own game. Is that right? Alex Baldwin, by the way. Hello, Alex. And Ian Cheeseman. What are you two up to?
Well, we've had a season of your quizzes.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd turn the tables and do one for you in the style of you. The answers could be completely wrong.
Wonderful.
The questions will be read badly. They'll make no sense. There'll be half a minute and like who's made the most appearances.
Listen. I just want to say, if you are out there and you've listened to Wednesday Club for the season, we'd love to get your thoughts on your highlights of the season. So maybe tweet us at XS Manchester, text us 87711, or give us a call. Why not? Come and have a chat with us. We'd love to.
Next season, we need to have some merchandise. We need to have some.
We will. I want key rings. I want mugs. I want everything.
Sheffield Wednesday.
Sheffield Wednesday. Give us a call now. 0345 1117625. Come and give us the highlight of your season. To myself, Alex and Ian. Right, before we get on to the fun and games and the quiz, we will just do a tiny bit of serious stuff and maybe mention the fact that England World Cup squad got announced today. I mean, you've seen it, both of you. City and United both represented quite well in there. I think the biggest shock might be for United that no Smalling is in there. However, Young is. Young, Rashford, Lingard and Jones. And then for City, you've obviously got Sterling, Walker, Stones, and where's the other one? I can't find it. Delph. There we go. There's the four. And then made up of a variety of different players, such as Vardy, Welbeck being a surprise for many people how he got in that squad. Who knows? Dyer, and then
Is that a comment on Welbeck? Dyer.
Yeah, Dyer. And then the sort of the headline before the announcement was made was Hart wouldn't be in the squad. That has turned out to be true. But looking at it, Alex, does it change any feelings you have going into the World Cup?
Well, I'm surprised Jones... No, I don't care.
Right, okay.
Sorry. I thought you were going to ask me something entirely different.
What do you want me to ask you?
I thought you were going to ask me, am I that bothered? And I'm not that bothered.
Well, no, that's not how this works. I want you to be bothered for about 5 minutes so you can pretend if that's all right.
Well, you know, when England starts to play and the pubs are open and everyone's like, oh, you're coming to the pub? And, you know, I like pubs. So I'll be up for it then. But to be honest, you know, I'm more excited about United's pre-season next year in the FA Cup.
So there's nothing sort of screaming at you. I mean, Ian, you're kind of the same, aren't you, Ian?
Yeah, I am. But we can look at this group. I mean, I am a bit surprised. I must admit. I know Joe Hart's not been playing regularly and lost a bit of form and everything, but I'm still surprised he's not in there. He offers a bit of experience, even if he didn't play. You know, can't help thinking that having him in the squad might not be a bad idea. But the one that really surprises me is Jack Wilshere. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Jack Wilshere has got something a little bit different and can be special on his day. So looking at it from the outside, looking at it from wanting to see England do well, then Jack Wilshere would be the big surprise omission from my perspective.
Indeed, and you can look at players, quite a young variety of players, Lingard and Rashford and Sterling, and you never quite understand how difficult it is, Ali, that these sort of, all these teams have been battling against each other to win the Premier League, and then come the summer they have to work together. Well, it must be weird in a weird way.
Well, even as a fan, you know, how can you suddenly go from, Ashley Young, he's always diving, and then suddenly he goes down in the box and for England, and you're going, come on, it's a penalty. He never took, he definitely took his leg. That tribalism makes it difficult.
In favour of this team, what we've always said at every sort of World Cup or major tournament is, it's like, for years it was Gerrard and Lampard can't play together. They're all a bit past it. He's still playing, even like in the end of the 90s, he's still playing Shearer. And this is quite a young side in many ways. Alexander-Arnold, Ali, Rashford, Loftus-Cheek. Maguire's not that old, is he? Lingard's quite young. And it's kind of like, are they going to play? And if they are, Germany did brilliantly in the last World Cup, didn't they? With a really young side, lots of almost naivety, but tons of enthusiasm and no respect for anyone.
Gareth Gates, though,
Gareth Gates,
not Gareth Gates, Gareth Southgate. Yeah,
Gareth Gates.
Well, he's in charge. That is the question with Gareth Gates in charge. They might be. Anyway, Gareth Southgate. He's all about keeping possession, isn't he? But not in the Pep Guardiola way. And my fear is that looking at that squad and the way Gareth Southgate wants to manage this team, that they're not going to take advantage of that youth and drive, which you're quite right, Alex, to point out. I mean, that is one of the assets of it. I also heard a debate from some fans saying it's all right taking young players and saying, and this is one of the arguments behind it, this will give them great experience for the World Cup in 4 years. But you can't just toss off a World Cup and say, well, it doesn't matter about this one. You've got to go for this one, haven't you?
And also, if we are in possession, you look at that midfield. I mean, Lingard and Ali probably both won't play together. So you're going to have maybe maybe Dyer from Tottenham and Henderson. Those will be probably your two starting central midfielders.
Not exactly inspiring, is it?
They're not going to be sprayed. It's not like, I don't know, Ozil or Modric or anybody like that. There's no killer ball coming from either of those two.
You're relying basically on Kane, principally, but strikers and maybe Vardy and Rashford to produce goals from nothing rather than this be threaded through the midfield. And that's why it comes back to Southgate. He's all about possession. Maybe this team is more suited to sitting and defending and hitting balls up to strikers and playing the counter-attack.
There's a lot of, Cahill, Jones, Stones hasn't had a great season, Maguire and Dyer. Those are your five maybe centre-halves. It's not inspiring, is it?
Bit of Gareth Gates here for Ian Cheeseman. Just moving us on to the next topic. I really just wish that I guarantee you Gareth Gates has never been played.
And the medics rather than what is this?
It is. He wants to go out with Georgie Best.
It is that song.
It is that song indeed. Gareth Gates probably never played an excess manager before and never will. Now, moving on to managers that, they've all gone. Well, all of them. Two of them have gone. Moyes and Allardyce have left West Ham and Everton, obviously.
Sonny Pulis gone from Middlesbrough yet?
No, I don't think so. Keep an eye on that one, but what you mentioned outside, Alex, that the man, Allardyce, isn't just sort of going, with nothing in his pocket. He'll be taking a nice little wedge with him.
Well, he said on Sky Sports an hour ago it could be up to 6 million. But, if I was Allardyce, I'll settle for 5, lads. But he must have made about 20 million now in being paid off for not being quite good enough. Good enough to keep you up.
He must be beating Sven's record now.
He's probably
Sven
close.
Was great at that, wasn't he?
We're awful on this every week. We're trying to get paid off.
Yeah, I know. It never will happen. So, what do you make of the situation? And Moyes, he got West Ham to sort of 13th.
They both came in and were given a remit, and they've actually fulfilled the remit.
I know, it's weird.
Ironically, when Sam Allardyce went in at Everton, they were right down near the bottom and they were struggling. Obviously Hodgson's done the same sort of thing at Crystal Palace and took them to mid-table, but he did what he said on the tin. He got them out of the problem, and I think they finished 8th, Everton, something like that, just outside the European places. But the crowd turned on him and didn't like him. But you know what you're getting with Sam Allardyce. And anyway, I think it's a bit of a myth that he's just purely a long ball. I think anybody that has watched his different teams down the years, it's not been quite like that. But that is actually sort of what he was brought into to do, to organise the defence, to get me out of that situation. Moyes has rescued West Ham. West Ham looked doomed to me as well, and he's gone in there and he's saved them. What did they get? Thank you very much. Well, they get 6 million quid.
6 million
but it's not so bad, is
and
it?
hired in January when the team's back at the bottom of the league.
They will be back in the Premier League. Don't know where, don't know when.
Start singing.
You can not go.
January or February when?
January or February. So we look forward to announcing them as new managers of a middle table club.
And this is the Wednesday Club. I'm Ian Cheeseman, Alex Boardman, my co-presenter.
Hi Ian, quiet you.
Yeah, listen. Me and Alex are now presenting the next section, and our guest today is young Joe, who's going to answer a few questions. Can you hit the music, please, Joseph?
Do you want the music? I can do that for you.
It's gone seductive again.
It's because you love me. Is this not the one you wanted?
No, this isn't the one we want. Where's that daft little jingly one you normally play?
Oh, can we not play this one? Okay.
That's
the one.
This is my one.
This is Sheffield Thursday, we're calling it. Right, we've got 5 questions, haven't we, Alex?
I hate this. This is weird. Right, okay, I'm ready.
Now, don't think too much about your answers, Joe.
What does this mean? Why?
Because, there's a chance that some of these answers might be quite close together, like the ones you give us. So just go with what your gut tells you.
Ready for it.
Right, question number 1.
Yeah.
Who finished higher in the Premier League this season? Was it Crystal Palace or Bournemouth?
Great question. I'm going to go Bournemouth.
And the answer is?
I'll do the sound effects as well.
Yeah. Oh, rubbish.
It was
Crystal Palace.
I'm guessing that now is the 2 options you gave me.
It
Cheers
was
for that.
a goal difference.
No, write it
rubbish,
down,
okay.
0 out of 1.
Yeah, 0 out of 1. Second question. Which goalkeeper in Premier League history has got the longest consecutive run without conceding a goal? Is it Petr Cech for Chelsea in 04-05 or Van der Sar for United in 08-09?
Van der Sar for United. 08-09.
Ding!
Yes. Happened to be at the game where he broke that record. I was saying.
Petr Cech's got the most clean sheets in a season, 24.
Well, okay.
So, question number 3. Oh, he's giving himself one. I didn't give myself the did he?
Give myself a ding whenever I like.
Who costs more, Higuain or Lukaku?
Oh, I'm going to go with Higuain.
And you are correct.
Correct.
Napoli to Juve, 75.3 million.
Oof.
Everton to United, Lukaku, 75.
These quizzes are easy. What are you on about?
Question 4. Who scored more own goals in the Premiership?
Oh, what?
Phil Neville or Rio Ferdinand?
Great question. I'm going to go with Phil Neville. Am I wrong? Rubbish.
Rio Ferdinand
so that's
6,
no? Right,
Phil
okay,
Neville 5.
2.
So you're 2 out of 4.
I got this one right to win, surely.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you beat yourself if you get this one right.
Look, good job we're on radio.
So, this is the big one. Who made more Premier League appearances this season? Was it United's Darmian or City's Mendy?
Oh, great question. Great question. I am going to say, as I think you're trying to trick me, I'm going to...
Do you want a clue? We can give you a clue.
Yeah.
They both made 3 substitute appearances.
Right, great clue. Cheers, mate. This is the worst phone a friend ever. And who was? I'm going to go with Mendy.
And you are... wrong!
How many did he make?
Mendy 4, Darmian 5.
That is rubbish. So did I get beat then?
You got beat by
Nothing.
yourself.
Yeah.
Well, FIFA World Cup for clubs. I want to mention this to you. FIFA want to make a new competition that would involve 24 clubs come together in around the December time in 2021. Oh, actually, I can tell that it's quite a sort of grey area when it's going to be, because the Liverpool Echo say it's going to be in December, but the MEN have now said it's going to be in June 2021, which is that sort of year when nothing happens. So I'm guessing no one knows the definite, but what we do know is that FIFA have proposed and invited 14 clubs already to take part in this FIFA Club World Cup. The 14 clubs that they've picked have won 3 or more European Cups. So from England it is Liverpool and United. I consider Madrid and Barcelona and Bayern and Ajax and Milan. They've all been invited as well. The idea of the tournament is to put all these great clubs, I don't know, from around the world into one big tournament and stage it over a matter of days like the World Cup is, get everyone dead excited, have a group stage and then a knockout round, then a final, and the prize money is set to be ridiculous, saying that the whole event itself will be a $20 billion event, and the participants will just get $100 million just for taking part in the event, and it could be up to $1.5 billion for the winners, with obviously the sponsorship deals going through the roof as everyone wants to get their name on the actual cup itself. So they're talking about the Emirates and all these airlines and big companies wanting to sponsor the event. So it could be a really big money maker. The two people that aren't happy with it is the Premier League. The Liverpool Echo suggested the Premier League weren't happy if it was going to be in December, because obviously that would take the English clubs away. And UEFA aren't happy about it, which is weird, because aren't they just all one thing? Because UEFA thinks it would take the shine off what is probably the biggest club competition in the world at the minute, the Champions League. Thoughts on it, Alex?
The difference obviously would be that, unlike the Champions League, you'd get maybe Corinthians and Boca Juniors and
and obviously it will be staged in like a 3-week period, a 4-week period.
Yeah, and you can also guarantee that LA Galaxy might just be involved if it's about sponsorship and stuff. So personally, just a gut reaction is, what a load of rubbish, nonsense. I can't see it happening. I wonder if it's a bit of a smokescreen because of the World Cup in Qatar is coming in 2022, and this would almost pave the way to say, look, we had a December break last year and we can do it again this year for all those European leagues that don't really have a big enough one. I just couldn't see anybody taking it seriously. It feels like it would be like a pre-season or a reserve event.
Ian, you brought up the fact that if it was in December, it would just be wrong, really. And I think
absolutely, totally against the December thought of this. I'm sure that the Manchester Evening News are right across this, and the original thing I saw of whether this was going to happen or not was that it was suggested that it was in an odd-numbered year, once every 4 years, and that it would be in the summer. Now, if that is, and if 16 teams was, and you can see why, 4 groups of 4, and then maybe quarterfinals, semis, and a final. If that system was to come in, whilst I'm a big fan of playing, I mean, for example, the so-called 39th game, which is still being knocked around by the Premier League, is something I'm dead against. I'm not in favour of that at all. Obviously, I know this is going off football, but New York Yankees are playing the Boston Red Sox next year at West Ham's ground. We know that American football's coming over here. I don't want to see proper Premier League games being played in anywhere except the home grounds of the teams who are in the competition. Don't want them going abroad. However, the idea of having if it was once every 4 years, it was in the summer, it was in an odd year, then I might buy into a World Club Cup competition, as long as they stuck to that and just did it every 4 years. Now, how you get into it, obviously it stinks of the old cartel of, if you've been successful in the past, you're in it, rather than it should be on some sort of merit. So, whoever the top 2 teams in England, top 2 teams, like the European Cup, and they did it on a merit thing, that would, to me, make more sense. But in principle, I haven't got a problem against it as long as it's in the summer.
There's all knock-on effects as well. Say it did happen in December, the back end of the Champions League group stages, November, January, the first week of January is traditionally 4th round of the FA Cup. It's just, I can't see it happening. Not with English teams at first, anyway.